I completed probably the toughest mission in the entire personal mission campaign, which is LT-15, the Aggressive Recon Specialist for the Object 260. This is probably the toughest mission and gives people the most problems among all of the missions in the campaign. And unfortunately, it has nothing to do with player skill, and it comes down to a lot of factors that are very much outside of your control. And I'll talk about a few of those as I go through this narration. Now, the biggest factor, in my opinion, is the map. There are very few maps left in the game that involve a lot of passive scouting. And because the mission is to get 8,000 damage and assist damage combined, you have to get a big chunk of that through passive scouting. There really isn't a lot of other opportunity to get 8,000 combined without a bunch of passive scouting. So you can do this through tracking tanks and getting your team to damage them, and of course doing damage yourself. But all of those involve risk, and clearly, if you're in a light tank, you don't have a lot of armor to take shots, nor do you have a big health pool to take shots. So the safest thing to do is go passive here. The other reason that you want to go passive is the secondary condition for this is to survive the match. You don't need to win, but you do need to survive. And if you're out there being super aggressive, the likelihood of getting the 8,000 and surviving is pretty low. And if you want to skip either Arty or one of the other sections of the Object 260, you want to complete this with honors, and so you're really trying to survive here. Now, a couple of the other things that play into this this mission, other than the map, and Malinovka is probably the second best map in the game for this, is the team comp. So you look at their team; they have no artillery, which is great, which means you have a bigger health pool. And of course, we don't have artillery either. You can also see that they've got quite a few mediums on their team, and the mediums on this particular map like to sit on the hill on the sea line there, which you can see I'm spotting them. Also, the strategy of your team and their team comes into play, and these are, again, things that you can't necessarily control, but impact your ability to get this done. So you can see my team has decided to leave that entire southwest corner of the map wide open, which means that their team can push up on the south side, and I'm lighting them as they come down, and I'm getting spotting damage as those guys are taking damage. So you can see that I almost have a 180-degree arc of tanks around me that I'm spotting, and my team is doing damage to. The only tank that really concerns me, of course, is this T-44 that's in front of me. And clearly I can't fire at him because I will be spotted, and that will really be the end of this mission for me. So I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that he's there and closely monitor him throughout the match. Now you can see I continue to spot those mediums that are on the hill. I'm not really worried about the tanks that are behind me. They're far enough behind me that I'm not too worried about them. And one of them's a T-95, so he's not going to sneak up on me, so to speak. I'm just kind of keeping track of what's going on around me to make sure that I'm not going to get spotted based on my position, or no one's going to rush me in the position that I'm in. So you can see that I'm aiming at these tanks. I'm not intending to fire at them. The only reason that I'm aiming at them is if I do get lit, I'm going to pop off a shot real quick and run. Because that's really the only strategy that you have in that case, and I want to put at least some damage on target if I do have to run away and try to take cover elsewhere. But you can see that the damage is already racked up. I'm at 7,000 damage right now. Half the enemy team is still alive, so I'm feeling really, really good about this, the position that I'm in. Now I'm at 7,300, and I'm starting to think about that T-44 again. And I'm thinking about it for two reasons. One, that T-44 has 450 HP. So if a worst case scenario came into play, I know that I can get 450 damage by rushing that T-44. The other thing that is going through my mind right now is that if he sees that his team is falling, he may try to sue a scout or think that he has a better opportunity to survive by pushing into our lines and killing somebody. So I'm just trying to monitor where he is and what he's doing and make sure that it's not going to be a risk to me. But at this point, I'm trying to be very patient. My team is coming off the hill. I know there's enough HP in front of me with that 907 and the T-54E1 that I'm going to get this done. So if I need to, I can take the shots on those guys or the T-44 to cross the 8,000 line, but I'm not going to need it because my team is really putting shells onto target here, and they're going to make this happen for me. And so big thanks to my team for getting this done, even though I don't know any of these players. I've had missions like this where my team hasn't really effectively put shots onto any of the targets that I've lit, and I've walked away pretty frustrated. So there you see that volley right there put me over the edge. That is LT-15, at least the first portion of it. And at this point, I'm just thinking about surviving. I want to make sure that I'm going to survive so that I don't have to do the arty missions as part of the campaign. So the team is still just racking up damage here, and I'm just getting more assist damage. Once this 907 dies, what I'm trying to do is just put some shots onto that T-44 and then get out of there. I know that my mission's done. I have to survive. My team is definitely going to win. So I'm just going to back off the front lines and move. Because surviving is the most crucial thing at this point, and my team doesn't need me to help clean up. So again, guys, I know that LT-15 is really tough. The best advice that I can give is get a tank that's great at passive scouting and can put out a damage if needed. The AMX 1390 is actually really good for this, along with the WZ 132, which is the Chinese light tank. Both of those are great for passive scouting and can put out damage if needed. And at that point, once you have a tank with a camo crew, you're equipped for that passive scouting. It's really just a matter of playing those light tanks until you get a situation that you can do a lot of passive scouting in. Lakeville's great for this. Prokhorovka obviously is probably the best map. Malinovka, which is the second best map. I've come close on Highway. There's a couple other maps that are good, but just keep playing those light tanks until you get it done. Thanks a lot, guys. 2 missions left before my Object 260, TD-15, and a redo of HD-15.